Greetings and welcome back once again to Ney at the Katzbach in John Tiller / WDS campaign Leipzig. So let us see what my opponent has done to respond to my my attack. Ooh, horse guns have come up right. They're going to point blank range blast me, unfortunately. Looks like he's sort of withdrawing a lot of quite a few guns. Oof. They will probably rout. Ugh. Nasty. He continues to pull back his Cossacks. I think, provided he doesn't do anything too nutty here, I may look to start a cavalry action. But alas, he's pulled back some more. So I can't see what's on the back end of the slope, alas. What is he up to, I wonder? Yeah, as you can see, he's formed a right angle line there. Unfortunately, none of those skirmishers started to run. Which certainly makes my job trying to clear them out of these woods more difficult. And he's just throwing out the skirmishers again. Looks like he's definitely shifting more Russians to cover this area. Interesting, he's pulling those skirmishers back. Alright, what happened? Rout. Yep, they routed, makes sense. So 5 units rout, 4 units undisorder, 3 units rally. First things first, however, we will throw up those skirmishers just as I get carried away, but we'll lead off naturally with the cavalry over here, as usual, and look to bring it to assist. How am I going to crack this tough nut? Because there's a lot of guns here, and it is going to be precisely that, a tough nut to crack. Let's lead off with the artillery, actually. Do the usual artillery bombardment. You will blast them. There we go. Managed to finally get a gun. This is completely a waste of ammo, really, to be shooting at skirmishers, but needs must in this case. Go for some indirect, which doesn't really do a lot. We are going to shoot there. Foot artillery. It's the big, heavy duty guns, so blast them. Let's get rid of those heavy guns. Or at least focus on them. The Italian horse guns. Yeah, we'll also shoot at them. And then we got the foot guns here. You can't really see anything, but you'll shoot there anyway. These 12-pounders will focus on them. So what are my losses at the moment? About 1,000 for not even 150 because of various reasons. So, returning to what we were doing, we'll bring up this cavalry. It will be rushed up to get involved. So much so I'm actually going to somewhat ignore some safety for it. And the Hessians will go there. Bring the horse. We bring the Baden infantry onto the hill. And we bring up the horse guns. General Rosoli will be positioned there. Let's bring up the 12th Chasseur, behind which we'll place the Lancers ready to charge. And then behind them will be the other Chasseurs. Plus the horse guns. And then these boys. Ooh. That might actually be worth what? Can I do it though? That's the question. Yes, I can. So let's kick it off. As we... I just realised I'm going to be charging into the front of them somewhat, but I'll fix that by doing this. Not brilliant, but not catastrophic just yet. The Lancers, yeah, they're like that as well. Bring up these. And then General Ricard will move up. And get into position. General Vautier will bring his cavalry across. So all of Pajol's cavalry is coming across. Not Pajol, Exelmans. And then the 23rd Chasseur will come over as well to assist. So he's now in a at least decent position be doing stuff. In this case here, we will... Gonna kick out the skirmishers a bit. Just to try and... I don't know. Not quote... get a better position because, well, they're exceptionally vulnerable in this position. We'll bring up more guns. I wonder... Alright. Go there. Ow. Well, that was... Okay, he's facing that direction. Which, in this case... means I'm going to do this. I will continue to bring forward the various other elements of the division. And yes, they just blasted that lot. And we'll bring up the gun. Not what? Bit too far, but hey ho. And there goes 50 men instantly. Form you into one big unit. Yes. I've got to try and rally this lot now. Which is not going to be bloody easy. This lot are going to fall back and look to regroup. And I'll break down the Naples elite regiment to try and break their position. We'll move the Italians up. If for no other reason than putting out some skirmishers. I did now unmask them, so we'll blast those boys there. Again, my formation is getting blasted as I advance, which is really, really annoying, but what can be done about it? Not a whole lot. We will, however, also just bring up more guns, more men, and various others. The 145th will come up. The 138th. Bring up those 12s. The 112th could break off some more skirmishers to try and help. It would, certainly. General Gerard. I might charge. It's not really worth it, that's the problem. But I suppose if I did, I would get to clear out some of their skirmishers if I charged just a single half squadron of the Neapolitan chasseur. Yeah, you know what? I think I will. And so they'll just look to clear out good few hundred Prussian skirmishers. I'll also bring them up. Now then, what else have we got? Let's bring up Marchand with them. In this case, once I am able to take this hill, I'll use it, I'll place artillery up there to sort of dominate the position. I think also we'll bring you up. Gonna get shot at a couple of times, but while I'm at it as well, I think it's time. Elements of Bertrand's corps, specifically Rochambeau's division, will be committed forward. With the goal of pushing into the woods here. And it will also tie down just more Russian forces. I'm going to bring these pioneers this way. Bring up the wagon. Go there and look to rally. So yeah, I lost a 6-pounder there. So I've lost 3 guns, 45 cavalry and nearly 1,400 infantry. He's lost not even 200 and a gun. But there's not a whole lot I can do about that. So still pushing onwards, I think, because I suppose I could push you forward and try and pick at their guns a little bit. I will look to try and break down into skirmishers a little bit more with Carpentier's division and just create a wall of skirmishers in front of him. Because it's not like they can be charged by cavalry because of the stream, so they're somewhat protected. So we've got heavy guns, light guns, horse guns, heavy guns, light guns, unknown, unknown, light guns, heavy guns, light guns. Okay, only 1 heavy gun. So 4 light batteries, a heavy battery, a horse battery, and a heavy battery there. Unknown. light, horse, and horse. So they'll be they'll all be 6-pounders. There's some more heavy guns, so they'll hurt for sure. Still, General Ricard's division, when it arrives, hopefully the Prince of Hesse, Marchand is now in official command, so I think that is everything I want to move. I can move up the various cavalry elements a little bit. See what they do. Onwards. Disordered. Come about, and then you two will start facing that way. He might actually come across there, so to prevent any Russians from sneaking across, I think I'm gonna have to do something potentially radical. Yeah, a couple of guns can see you. No real guns can see you. Move them there. Just start. And these boys are just going to plink away to their heart's content. And then the 155th will... go there. 151st and elements of the 152nd, because they're sort of mixed in together at this point. They'll go there with the intention to push further forward. And in the meantime, I will actually start bringing up the reserve elements of the division. Well, not the reserve elements, but the second part of it. Which just leaves General Pathod's division. Do I commit him forward? And I think the answer is no. I think in the end, I only care about tying down these Russians so they don't sneak across the bridge. I'll detach a small half squadron of this lot to just go keep an eye on it for good measure. And then Ney with the army of the Bobr. Ooh, before I forget, let's commit forward this slot. So General Albert can get at least in position to support if necessary. So, who are we fighting here? The Alexandra Hussars, the Brandenburg IR2, the 49th Jaeger, 2nd East Prussians. Beyond that, no one really knew. So, for now, let us proceed into the melees that we have going, of which we have a couple. First and foremost, let's have these Neapolitan chasseurs. Lose a man. They're going to get pretty badly shot up to do this, but ow, as I said, they're pretty wiped out at this point. Here we go. Let's see who we got here. The East Prussian Grenadier Battalion. So, push you forward as we look to clear out these skirmishers. Ow. The skirmishers will evade the melee, which they did naturally. The Simbretsk Regiment. They will naturally evade. You cannot melee. You can, however. Let's see if we can do that. As we just continue to work, trying to clear. So yeah, those poor Neapolitan chasseurs are gone at this point. I can't do anything to help them, but in this case, their sacrifice may have been very helpful. All right. If I hit them again, yes, I will. Yeah. Didn't do anything that time, but still. Okay, those are some lick guns. I think, for the most part, I'm actually pretty happy. Yes, I've taken a lot of losses from artillery fire. But all things considered, that's not surprising. And in the grand scheme of things, 1,500 casualties out of an army of over 80,000 is not that many. Now, it's going to get much nastier in a minute when I get the turn returned, because he's going to have blasted me in the face with a lot of artillery. But still, every moment that they can't blast me, or every moment that they're having to pick their targets, just allows me to get that one step closer. And now with General Rochambeau's division launching his attack, so we should hopefully hit him fairly nicely. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. They are going to probably get charged in the flank and then routed and pretty badly mauled, I suspect. But then whoever charges them would likely get charged in the flank, and we're going to have a very big swirling cavalry fight over there. Which will only grow larger with the arrival of Wattiers and Excelmans, the rest of Excelmans' division in the form of Wattiers' brigade, and probably eventually the arrival of this brigade. It will allow me to sort of not necessarily win the fight, but keep the Allied cavalry from interfering. Still, I thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this latest part of Ney at the Katzbach. But until next time, remember to like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you all with the next part. So until then, bye-bye for now.